Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. Welcome to English World. A World Through English Class 10. And you all know we are doing Class 10 content. Now let's see Unit 2, that is Wit and Humor, Reading Text A. Do you know what is that? Yeah, you all know it is Dear Departed. And part 1 is reading text A, as you all know. But in this session, we'll do slot 1 of this part 1 text, a part of this text. Okay, so let's get into the text. Dear Departed. Now let's know in brief about this Dear Departed. What is this text? It is a social play. A social play which is also a one act play. And Stanley Hopkins is the writer of this Dear Departed, which is a social play which reveals the pathetic conditions of the elderly people who are neglected, ill treated, and deserted by their own children. It is a satire that criticizes the degradation of moral values in this modern world. Not only that, it shows the hollow relationship between two daughters and a father. And this play reveals the breaking of human relationships in this modern world. And they didn't show any concern for their father, old father, these two daughters. And we are going to discuss or see that in this play. They only want his belongings, but not love him. They won't love him and they never care for him. So now let's see the characters in this one act play. The main character, we were talking about an old man, that is Abel Mary Weather, the father. And he had two daughters. One is Amelia, the elder daughter. Amelia got married to Henry Slater, and then younger daughter Elizabeth got married to Ben Jordan. So in our text we can see Amelia addressed as Mistress Slater and Elizabeth as Mistress Jordan. And Victoria is the only daughter of Amelia and Henry. Then Jimmy is the only son of Elizabeth and Ben Jordan. Right? So these are the characters that we see in this one act play. Now let us know the attitude or character of these two ladies and their husbands. Okay, so at first we'll know about the pair or couple, Amelia and Henry Slater. That is Slater's couple, right? So now at first we'll know about Amelia, that is Mrs. Slater. Yeah, Mrs. Slater, that is Amelia. Mr. Slater is a vigorous, plump, red-faced, vulgar, greedy, selfish, and unscrupulous and mean lady. She doesn't waste even a minute to grab the old man's property. And she's always back of her father's property and she was waiting for her father's death. She gives more importance to the mourning dress, and this shows that she's very showy. And then she has no compassion for her father. She wants to grab things that belong to her father. She plans to outshine her sister Elizabeth in wearing mourning dress. She is very impolite and sensitive, and she can do any amount of straight talking to get her own way. If she likes to have something, she uh, is so stubborn and bargaining that she'll get it at any cost. That is how Emilia is. And now let's know about Henry. He is afraid of his wife, Emilia, and he doesn't dare to displease her. He's puppet in his wife's hands. We can say that he's a henpecked man, and if she speaks a bit hard, he obeys her. He's not only unable to correct his greedy wife, and when she tries to pinch her father's property, he never speaks against her. And on whole, we can say that really he's a henpecked husband. And now it's the time to see about the other sister, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, she's a stout lady and a complacent woman with an irritating air of being always right. She's also very showy. She delayed to arrive at Amelia's house to see her father lying dead because she was not having she don't have doesn't have morning dress for the occasion, so she arrived late. And this shows that she gave much importance to her appearance than to her father. And she was also back of her father's property. Now, when we talk about Ben Jordan, as like Henry Slater, he is too timid by nature. He can't control his wife when she starts quarreling with her sister about keeping the old man and about her property also. And Mr. Ben is mean and unscrupulous man. He calls the old man drunken old beggar, and when he comes to know that he didn't pay the installment. So this shows that he's very uh, greedy and selfish man. Okay, then now let's get into the play. When the curtain raises, Mr. Slater is seen laying table, and then she goes close to the window, opens it, and calls out into the street. Victoria! Victoria! Do you hear me? Come in, will you? And then Victoria rises. Victoria is a precocious girl, often dressed in colors. She enters. And then Emilia rises. I am amazed at you, Victoria. I really am. Be off now and change your dress before your Aunt Elizabeth and your Uncle Ben come. It would never do for them to find you in colors with grandfather lying dead upstairs. So here, why they need to be in black? Why Emilia is asking Victoria to be in black. In an English tradition, when somebody is dead, as a mourning dress, they wear black. So, as their father Abel lying dead there at the upstairs, they are mourning. So, for that, they were supposed to be in black. Whereas little girl Victoria was unaware of it. So, she is in colored dress happily playing outside. But this people, grown up people, they are much concerned of these things and they'll be exposing our posing that on to the little kids. That has happened here. And then you sing, this little girl innocently asked, what are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages. So, see, this proves the relation how the sisters had. They never visited houses for each other for a long time, for ages in sense, for a long time. And then, see, she said, Amelia said, they are coming to talk over poor grandpa's affairs. Your father sent them a telegram as soon as we found he was dead. So, affairs in sense here, that's something related to father's property. Particularly, they mean about property. Or we can say that related to the father. Then Henry arrived. So as soon as this has come, Henry arrived and Victoria left to get dressed in black. As soon as Henry entered, he was in doubt whether Jordans will visit their house or not. So he expressed the same. I am wondering if they'll come at all. He took a pause and said, he was in a dilemma whether to discuss this or not. And then he said, when you and Elizabeth quarreled, she said she'd never set foot in your house again. And what do you think? Has it convinced Amelia? No. Then what happened? Amelia said, she will come fast enough after her share of what our father left. You know how hard she can be when she likes. And she added, where she gets it from, I can't tell, right? So this is what she said. And see, this shows that we are unaware of our attitude. And this lady carries the same attitude, but she is criticizing her own sister, that how she can think in that way. Then this innocent man said, I suppose it's in the family. He can't shout. And a low voice he said, I suppose it's in the family. Right. Then he took a pause and said, to divert, where are my slippers, Amelia? And Amelia said, in the kitchen, but you want a new pair. Those old ones are nearly worn out. So all these days she never thought of new pair for her husband. But today, when her father lying dead, she thought of new pair. Just you imagine why. And see, she added, you don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like I am doing. So, as if she's troubled to see her husband wearing the worn out chapel, she expressed her sympathy. And then she added, my heart's fit to break when I see the little trifles that belong to father lying around and think he'll never use them again. So she started to show sympathy towards her father's death, pointing to his slippers that were left there. I mean, she's planning to grab that slippers on name of Henry, right? And then what happened? Here, you'd better wear these slippers of my father's now. It's lucky you just got a new pair. So see, she's not worried of her father lying dead there. She's feeling happy that he purchased a new pair of slippers and that can be used by her husband. So this shows the degradation of human relations in the play. Now, this innocent man says, "They'll be very small for me, my dear." Then, will she accept? Do you think that she's about to accept it? No. She said, "They'll stretch, won't they? I'm not going to have them wasted." She raised her voice. As we know, if she raises her voice, he has to accept and he'll be accepting. And that has been done there. And she added, by taking a pause, by convincing Henry. She got a thought where she already grabbed or pinched, owned her father's slippers on name of Henry. Now another thought. And she's very smart in expressing that. Sweetly she called, "Henry, I've been thinking about that bureau of my father's that's lying in his bedroom." So, what does it shows? The first property has been grabbed and now trying to get the second one. What is that? Bureau, a table. Okay, so how she is going to do that? You know, I always wanted to have it after he died. She's trying to convince Henry. Then he said, "See, Elizabeth is there. She must have a talk with her when Elizabeth comes for the property division." Such an innocent man. And he said, "You must arrange with Elizabeth when you are dividing things up." He thought that, or he felt that his wife, Amelia, has to wait till Elizabeth arrived and they should have a discussion, distribution of property of their father, agreement on it, and then she can take that. But he is unaware of that what she is trying to do and what she might have said. "Elizabeth's that sharp. She'll see I'm after it and will drive a hard bargain over it." So she is sure of it, and she know that once if Elizabeth look or come to know that bureau belongs to father, she'll start arguing. She'll be back of it, and both the sisters of same nature, they never give up. If they like to have something, they'll argue a lot and fight, quarrel, and may go to any extent and get that, make their word way. So, as she is of that nature, she knows very well her sister, and now she doesn't want that to be happened. So, but Henry said, "Perhaps she's got her eye on the bureau as well." Yes, it may be. Then she's got her eye on the bureau as well. Now Amelia started to think, think whether Elizabeth know about this or not. So she started to think and she has come to know. She recollected when she thought of the past days and then she made up. She's never been here since father bought it. She was very happy. In an excitement, she said, "She's never been here since father bought it, Henry." So she was very happy. And then she said, "If it was only down here instead of in her room, she'd never guess it wasn't our own." Now, how? Immediately she planned and she thought to shift it to the downstairs to their part of house, and she decided to exhibit as they purchased and it belongs to them, and then she never argued to have it. So how greatly she planned, and this innocent Henry was shocked and he said, "Amelia." So this shows that, come on, stop thinking in such a way. But he is helpless. He has to follow his wife, and he finally agreed and he obeyed to shift that bureau down. And then what happened? She started, Henry, why shouldn't we bring down the bureau down here now? We can do it before they come. She's so excited as her husband agreed to get it done. And she is well aware that he can't say no to her. He has to agree. And finally it is done. And now immediately the work has to be done. So Henry was helpless. I wouldn't care to. So he said, okay, I don't know what to do. Whatever you say, I'm ready to do. Come on, let's go and get it down. Right. Now, don't look so dark. Why not? Why can't we get it down? So she is insisting Henry to get it down. Finally, he agreed and he said, it doesn't seem delicate somehow. It's sensitive issue. How? Why? Then she asked, why? We could put that sabby old chest of old drawers upstairs where the bureau is now. So now see how well she planned. That bureau was there for a long time, and you can see the stains, the marks of that subtle object. So how to overcome that? So what she has decided to get that bureau down and put it at the place where there was a old chest of drawers and shift this old drawer to that bureau place so that it covered the stained ground. And Henry was shocked of this thought and he has to agree. Elizabeth could have that and welcome. She's very happy. If Elizabeth want to take that shabby old chest of drawers, I'm ready. I'm happy. Why? I've always wanted to get rid of it. That is what Amelia said. She always wanted to get rid of it, uh, quit it, move it out of the house. And this is a right chance, right time to do that. And listening to all these excuses, now there is no option. Still, Henry was not convinced. Then he expressed his doubt. Suppose they come when we are doing it, then even for this, she's having an explanation. With then excitement, she said, I'll fasten the front door. You get your coat off, Henry. We'll change it. She's so excited. I'll fasten the front door. Get your coat off, Henry. We'll change it. She started repeatedly saying, and she approached towards the front door, and Henry was helpless. Lizette agreed, okay, and then he changed the dress. I'll run up and move the chairs out of the way. Now she's so excited, happy, and she's getting ready, arranging, making all the things to get the bureau down. Seeing all this, Henry was surprised and he said, oh, gee. And then he changed, he changed the dress, mean to say he removed his coat and Victoria entered. She was shocked to see Henry removed coat without coat and she asked, what have you got your coat off for, father? Get off mean remove, take out. Okay, so what have you got your coat off for, father? She asked. And he said, Mom and I are going to bring grandfather's bureau down here. See, he's very innocent man. He has given a clear explanation of what they are going to do. If instead of him, if Amelia is in Henry's place, imagine she might have said, it's none of your business, go and Sit there and wait till your uncle and aunt come. But innocently this man answered the girl. And then this little girl, who is a fair minded, she said, "Are you planning to pinch it? Mean theft it? Steal it?" So Henry was shocked hearing such words from a little girl, their daughter. "Oh no, my child. Grandpa gave it to your mother before he died." That's what Henry said. See, unknowingly we the elders do such a mistakes. Will convince child with a false statements. Now, then this little girl who is aware of the things went on in the morning, she was shocked and asked, "This morning?" Then Henry said, "Yes." "Ah, he was drunk this morning." That is what she said. And then what happened? Emilia came down with a clock in her hands. And these two fellows, seeing that, were shocked. She said, "I thought I would fetch this down as well. Our clock's worth nothing, and this always appealed to me when it's asking me to get down. The clock is inviting me to get down, requesting me to take and keep in my part of house." That's what Emilia has expressed. Then this little girl, "That's grandpa's clock." So she loves her grandpa, and she's not ready to accept that the parents are snatching things from her grandpa. So by that, "Okay, dear, okay, no problem," he said. So he was shouting, this lady was shouting on little girl, "Be quiet. It's us now. Come, Henry, lift your end." And they started to get the bureau down. So there they brought the bureau down and settled the things. In this moment, what Henry and Slater, Mrs. Slater, very hot and flushed, staggered with a pretty old-fashioned bureau containing a locked desk. They put it where the chest of drawers was and straightened the ornaments and etc. And then after arranging all these things, what might have happened? Can you imagine? Has anybody come? If somebody has come, who had come? Then, when they came, how did Amelia receive them? Do you think Elizabeth could recognize that bureau? Obviously, if Elizabeth has come, could she recognize that bureau? And can you predict the consequent scene? What's going to happen next? How it is going to reflect? What Henry is going to, how Henry is going to respond? What might be Amelia's attitude towards Elizabeth? So just imagine that, predict it, and put as an assignment. By this, let's end the slot, and we'll meet in the next slot to continue with the next scene. Okay, then, see you all.